Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome in here to an overcast Lakewood Ranch, Florida, here at the Premier Sports Campus as we get set for the Nike International Friendlies. Today's first matchup will be between the USA Red team as they face Brazil. Here, we'll get you more of the details as all that goes. Again, it's an overcast day here from Lakewood Ranch, but very warm here, so it should be a lot of fun as we get you prepared. National anthems coming up now for the United States and Brazil.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem of Brazil, followed by the national anthem of the United States. The center official for today's match is Karen Collado.
And as the teams shake hands, we get prepared here for the first match today. This one facing the USA Red Squad against Brazil. Tonight at 6:30, we'll see the USA Blue Squad take on France. Mike Pepper alongside Mark Serber here. And Mark, when we get a good chance here, we talked to Mark Carr, and he's had an opportunity. Again, this is such a big camp with so many players available with the two U.S. teams, and he's had to break down a little film, and I think he came away with wanting to keep maybe a little more compact for this group of young ladies first.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is the younger side who was really happy of the way they played the first 20 minutes against France, and he said, you know what, we put it upon the players. We let them study the film and came back to us and said, this is what we want to work on. So that film analysis was was very player driven.
We're going to get a look at the starters first for Brazil, and really pretty much many of the same players that have started both matchups here as they faced on France on the first day in that lineup.
And the same back line that was able to beat USA Blue the other night, very strong as we take a look at the USA 2.
And the U.S. Also going with quite a few players. Matter of fact, 9 of the same starters as we saw on Wednesday.
Yeah, and Hunter and Hyatt were really good in the center of defense, so I was really liking them. Kroger, very good when she's able to get forward. And up top, Nacelo, Poto Gil, and Heredia Beltran are very, very good when they have the ball and a chance to interchange positions. So I think they're going to have a bit more space to operate against Brazil tonight than they did against France.
I think you're right. And two, we call this the USA Red Squad because that is by definition of what they are. However, they're wearing the blue uniforms from head to toe. They'll get their chance out there. Brazil will be wearing their traditional yellow, blue on white. We mentioned a bit the weather. What a contrast the last couple days when we last played the Nike International Friendlies on Wednesday. A little bit warmer. We saw a cold front come through yesterday. Boy, a lot of wind and rain. Rain's still not out of the question here, but certainly weather was pleasant, and there's really not much wind to speak of.
Yeah, I think the one team this team will be happy with is they don't have the wind that we had the other night in the USA versus Brazil game. That was really a factor, and Mark Carr said, I really hope it's not windy tonight. And so far, for the first game, it's not, but anything can change. This is Florida after all.
It is Florida. It is December, but the one thing we can count on, for the most part, it's going to be a little warmer than wherever you are maybe watching around the country. Temperatures will be about 70 degrees, and wind right now is not a factor at all. The U.S. will opt to go from left to right on your screen. So we say, I don't think it even that if there's a gentle breeze, it'll be slightly at the back of Brazil, but should not be much of a factor here. As we talked about those starting lineups, first of all, the referee, Karen Callado, she'll be in the center. She'll be flanked by Cassie Anderson and Laura Chambers-Waliski. Jamie Padilla will be the fourth official. Brazil's done with their huddle. They will kick us off, get us started again, going from the right to the left. For those familiar with the Lakewood Ranch Premier Sports Campus Stadium Field, they will be going from the south to the north, will Brazil, here as we play the first 45. Referee coordinating the clock. We'll get started right at 3:32, it looks like, will be our official kickoff. As we get started, Brazil and the United States.
One player to watch for Brazil is Vitória Yaya. She's rated really highly back there and has really set this tournament alight.
A little bit of multiple roles. We saw her play up front on day one and more towards the midfield. We'll see where they've asked her. She seems to have settled into that midfield position.
Jacqueline, the number 11 as well. 2 goals against the U.S., including a stunner from the top of the box off a nicely rehearsed corner kick play. So look for her too. She's really dangerous with her movement, but on the ball as well. She's able to create off the dribble.
So we get started here. Brazil right now feeling out the situation. We saw Sydney Nacelo, who was putting pressure on the ball now. Had a few nice runs early on. You talked about the first 20 minutes with how the United States performed against France, and really as a whole they were, but it was significantly they were the more dangerous team in that early going. Brazil looks forward, tries to dribble through traffic, the ball deflecting out as Nacelo running back towards her own goal. Will have to get a little help. They'll reset.
Well, Brazil doing a great job to step into the passing lanes, but Hunter did a wonderful job as well. Saw that the Brazilian player was stepping into that back pass, so she gave a better angle to be able to get that ball, and the U.S. was able to get it to the other end.
Through the middle, Brazil out wide now to
Udamila.
There she goes, dropped all the way back. She's been playing up. I was going, I think that's 13, but yeah. Dropped well back in front of her defenders in that case.
Good work by the U.S., though. Everybody pinching in, moving Brazil side to side, forcing them into this turnover.
McMahon throws it into Lockwood, who gets the start today. This ball over the top. This Hyatt will run it down. We'll get it back to the goalkeeper, McClelland. McClelland and Lockwood are the only 2 starters in the game. Lockwood did come in a reserve role for the United States. Acrobatic by Gisele attempt a crazy kick just to save a throw in. Brazil resets in the back now. Camila looking long for Jacqueline.
Nice skill from Duda there.
As Yoshida is taken down, U.S. will have the free kick.
The one thing that this U.S. team has to think about is moving the ball as quickly as possible, because if you take more than 2 touches, Brazil will get 2 or 3 players crowded around you right away. So the way to put this Brazilian team off is to move the ball as quick as you can so they can't hunt in packs.
And a bit of a difference we saw between Brazil. We saw them on Friday, or on Monday, excuse me, against France. And then again against the USA, the blue squad. They got the early goal against USA. They seemed to play with a lot more confidence on Wednesday than they did on Monday. Let's see if that carries over into today's match. Surrounded by Development Academy Winter Cup, Winter Showcase games here. So as these games finish, we expect to see many of these young ladies to come over and check out the international competition with the Nike Friendlies. Back to McClelland. See, obviously the U.S. wanting to play out of the back. They did have a bad mistake in the last game, which really kind of opened it up for France a little bit.
Yeah, it led to France's first goal, and it was a shame because up until then, the U.S. were going toe-to-toe with the former semifinalist. And so it's just one of those things that, yeah, it's a rehearsal game in terms of getting ready for the CONCACAF Championships, but just the momentum and how it shifted in that game, it all started with an unfortunate play in the back.
And a great ball in through Heredia Beltran, and she is fouled, which allows players to come forward on this free kick opportunity, but a good opportunity for the U.S. here as they all have a free kick about 25 yards off the line, just to the near side of the field.
That was great skill by Heredia Beltran, turning her defender inside out, and I think that's something Mark Carr has spoke to them about, is have a go at these defenders. That's something that he preached to his blue team at halftime when we saw Trinity Rodman turn into a world beater with her one-on-one play, especially cutting in from the flank.
Many fantastic runs in that other matchup. Let's see here. It'll be Kroger with the left foot. Does have Heredia Beltran if they decide to put some play on the near side. Kroger into the box, back post. The header on just wide, but that one worked out because there was a lot of room there for Cassandra Hyatt. She just couldn't get that header on target as she was open on the back post.
Beautiful ball, though, by Kroger. It's a great run by Hyatt. Timed it really well, and like you said, just couldn't direct her effort on target, but that's a good start for the U.S.
And they'll get a turnover here as Nacello tries to go at the defense. She's a little over-aggressive. We'll lose it. The ball played down the line, kept in on the far side. As Victoria Hayes will make the run from her back position. She'll slot it through. Far side. See D'Amelia. She'll cross in. It's going to bounce off of the United States. And it will be a corner kick as Jacqueline could not reach it on the back post.
Yeah, the U.S. has to be careful there, not only because it's Jacqueline who's at the back post, but also because you're looking at the defender and she's completely watching the cross and not aware that Jacqueline is on the prowl behind her. So you need to be able to know, obviously, where the man and the ball is at all times. And I just think the defender there only had eyes for the ball coming in off the cross. But it is the first corner kick of the game for Brazil.
Taken by Angelina. We're in the long sleeves for Brazil today. We'll swing it in, driven to the near post. It's off of Hunter and now cleared out by the U.S. A little room for Gisele, but she'll have to wait on it, and the pressure for the U.S. force her to go out wide now. But it is a good chance as D'Amelia will cross it in. Taken by the U.S. and Caitlin DeWong. And just played into space on the other side of the field. Ciselli to Jacqueline. We'll go one-on-one, and the defender now play towards the corner for Marta. Marta being marked by Hyatt. Hyatt will take it off her and earn the throw, as she'll play it off of Brazil. Little roll back. Nice little touch by Podojil. Kroger and Hunter working together. Duong finds Kroger. Kroger's got a little space, being closed down quickly, however. She'll go forward. Yoshida asking for the touch, not getting it, so Brazil quickly throws. Yaya. Edmila. The U.S. will take it away. Nasello. Little room for Yoshida. Looking to go over the top. Running onto it is Podojil. She's got it at her feet. Looking under the back post. It's going to be a little too far. We'll go out for the goal kick.
A good look there onto the far side for the run of Heredia Beltran. At the same time, though, the U.S. did a great job through Podojil to make that run and stretch the field. It's creating a 20-yard pocket of space in between Brazil's defense and midfield lines. I would love to see a U.S. player occupy that space and see if they can build that way.
Duong wins it, plays it towards the corner. Here's Heredia Beltran, who will play it off Brazil. And it will be a corner, no, goal kick for the United States. Late flag by the official. Heredia Beltran, maybe not yelling quite enough there, as that one will go over the end line. Giselli.
Excellent squeeze there by the U.S.
And it's at the feet of Podojil. Now Heredia Beltran trying to go on the run, and it's chested over the near line by Angelina.
Excellent work, though, by Lockwood. This time she did get into that pocket of space and was a good option.
Duong, first one to it. Played 11 minutes here, scoreless between the United States and Brazil. This the inappropriately dubbed red team, playing in all blue. I don't know if inappropriate.
Don't worry, the blue team's going to come out on all red later tonight, so you'll be fine.
That's probably the case. Just enough to confuse your broadcasters, or at least this broadcaster. That played towards the corner, Podojil.
It doesn't matter for me. I was already confused to begin with, just in life in general. So.
I'm in perpetual confusion myself, so leading each other the wrong direction. So we do know it is a U.S. throw, though. No confusion on this one, as McMahon will look to target Podojil. High pressure by the U.S. Gets the ball again. They'll try and find some room through the middle. Yoshida into Podojil. Back to Yoshida. Not quite connecting, but it's Heredia Beltran who tries to cross. It's blocked. High pressure by Brazil. 4 yellow jerseys will take it away. Now, an advised pass, but they get away with it. Now Yaya onto the far side looking for Duda. Duda in a race with Hunter. Hunter wins that one and will utilize her goalkeeper McClellan to send it up the field. Nicoli and a bad ball out. Podojil's high pressure does find Nasello. Nasello a little wide, but Demila is running back and will get that one before Yoshida can do anything with it. Hunter. Throw in, it goes Brazil's way.
U.S. has done a really good job of not only keeping their shape, but pushing up and knowing the times that they can squeeze. Brazil really hasn't been able to settle into a rhythm. Credit the U.S. for their work off the ball.
Well, that was going to be one of the main points by Mark Carr, saying it will have an offside flag on the near side, of wanting to keep his team compact. There seemed to be a little bit of space spread between the positions last time, and that's where France took advantage of it into the second half. But the compactness certainly come into play here.
I thought McMahon had an excellent game against France, and she's really has a really good chance to set a world marker here tonight based on how she does in this battle with Jacqueline.
Jacqueline outstanding the other night with that. Maybe the goal of the friendlies so far with that first touch volley. That one a little far for McMahon, who still goes on. Held her ground. Now we'll find Heredia Beltran. Nice ball as Heredia Beltran goes one-on-one with the defender, around the defender Camila, into the box, and now across the top. Little shape, and now the left-footed shot by Lockwood. Not a lot on it, but a great run by Heredia Beltran.
Oh, unlucky there, but you just see how dangerous it is when you have somebody that can take on players and beat them. Teams work so hard on being compact, on having their shape, on stepping into the passing lanes, but that can all break down the minute you have a player that's capable of beating one or two marks off the dribble.
So often what you have to do, and Heredia Beltran did that really well, particularly when you see that central defender. No offense to Camila, but they play inside more so for their strength of their head. This one's going to go back, and it'll be a corner kick for the United States. So once you see those big central defenders come out, you want to take them on all the time. They're going to try and win the headers and be stronger in the middle, but maybe not quite as fleet of foot as you find your outside defenders.
That's interesting, too, from Brazil's head coach, Jonas Arias dos Santos, going with pretty much the same starting 11 for all three games when they're playing 3 games in the space of 5 days.
I was recognizing that, too, and the referee is going to want to talk to a couple of players who shoving each other a little bit. Looks like Nasello leaning into that near post. Here's Kroger on the corner for the delivery. That'll fall out. It'll go beyond everyone. Played back in by McMahon. Now cleared out. Yoshida targeting Hunter. Brazil will have it. Not a lot of jerseys back there, and it's a good takeaway by Yoshida, who's fouled. Here's McMahon. McMahon continuing to run, and she will not be able to keep it in.
Well, it's only, just under 18 minutes in, but still very impressive start for McMahon.
A little fashion observation that both McMahon and Heredia Beltran on the right side opt to take the knees or the socks over the knees here today. That ball a little strong into the Brazil bench. Into the feet of Heredia Beltran. Nacella will get there first. Use Kroger. So the free kick will go the U.S.'s way as Yoshida is taken down. And certainly, Mark, as we enter the 20th minute here, a couple of better opportunities for the U.S., but Mark Carr is really seeming to get a good day's work right now, or not day's work, but at least a good start to this one for his young ladies.
Yeah, I think they're doing an excellent job on the defensive side of the ball, and they've shown glimpses offensively. One of the things that I'm noticing is we're able to hear some of the communication, and it's been really good from the U.S. The last time the ball was on this near side, and Hyatt yelled at McMahon to turn her hips and force the ball inside so that Jacqueline couldn't get free down the wing.
Well, here's a chance outside the area is Nicole, as Heredia Beltran was crashing down about 20 yards outside it, and Nicole got out there first. Through ball, though, looking for it, and just a little strong for either her or Potagil. Both of them had an opportunity at it. Jacqueline commits the foul on Lockwood. Kroger across the field. Kroger looking to see. Speed the near post. They had success on the far post last time. This one driven in to Nacella off her hip. Duwong runs it down. They'll reset. Yoshida. Nacella. That header won by Jacqueline, but to go far enough for Hyatt to utilize her goalkeeper, McClellan. Back up the field. Time for Heredia Beltran. Nicely done on the chest drop for that. The second ball under pressure as Potagil splits the defenders and will earn the throw in.
Potagil's been really good at stretching this defense. It's opening up space in behind with the run she's making underneath. Was good recognition there, though, to notice that time the ball was on for Potagil and try and play it over.
Potagil out of the University of Arkansas. Off Lockwood, Jacqueline will go down the line for Marta. We haven't talked to Marta's name much here, but she's got a chance to go at the defender. She'll go down as it was well defended by Hyatt. McClellan. It's McMahon down the line. A little room for Yaya. Angelina. Out here near side is Jacqueline. Jacqueline will go at the defense. A nice job by McMahon of holding her ground.
Sideline. Good. Keep her this way. Keep her this way. Get up! Get up!
Duda across. There's Yaya. Dangerous spot. Hunter will play it off her, and they'll say it went off the arm. So the free kick will be the U.S.
And one thing the Brazilian players do so well is they find these little spaces and just seamlessly drift into them. It allows them to play at a really good speed. Because their attacks are just so fluid when they do begin to find that space and that rhythm.
DeWong under some pressure, tries to find a nice touch to Beltran, but already a Beltran and will not stay in.
Yes, Katie. Get up, Quinn.
Here's Gisele. Flipped on by Yaya. Marta. Iadumila out wide. Run down by Nasello. Nasello will take it to the outside, and she gets pulled on. Pulled down.
Well, definitely a foul there, but there are two disadvantages for Brazil is because referee Karen Colado is Brazilian. She's from Sao Paulo, and so one, they can't pretend that they don't understand the referee, and two, they can't say anything about the referee because she speaks their language. So, but Karen Colado it's been awesome to see her trajectory because she started doing the state games, was invited to DA, has come to many DA showcases over the last few years and began getting, the quarterfinal games, the semifinals, did a championship, and now she has her chance here to ref at the international level. And so really great story of referees who come through this DA program and are able to work their way up.
Been on Stadium Field here is this chance by Yoshida. It's going to go a little far. No one in blue on the backside. Brazil tries to go out, and it's Gisele with some room to run across midfield. Gisele looking for the run inside. They'll drop it in for Marta, but there's Hyatt who steps on it, and Marta goes down off there. So McMahon, and now the U.S. will have it as they work out the back. Being chased is Hunter. That one is Yoshida waits on it. It stepped in front, but it will still be a U.S. throw as Victoria Heish.
Marta doing a great job of tracking there, but she has to be careful. She's left her feet twice to make some dangerous sliding challenges. The first time she was able to pull out of it, and then the second time she just missed completely. But if she connects with one of those, she could be in the referee's book.
Hyatt into Heredia Beltran. Potagil's holding. Instead, it's space. There's communication in that sense as Potagil wanted it at her feet. And that's beyond Gisele's feet. It'll be a throw in for the U.S.
A great job by Potagil to vary her runs, but the last 3 or 4 were the long ones stretching out the D. So I think that's what Heredia Beltran was expecting on that occasion, especially because they were on the counterattack.
U.S. will, looks like we're going to see Heredia Beltran and Nasello kind of switch sides, see what they can exploit. Maybe they see something for a moment here into the foot of Nasello, but never gets there. Duda. Nasello defends her very well.
Nasello's willingness to track back and help out on the defensive end has really helped the USA, especially against the teams such as Brazil, who are so dangerous with their flank players in the likes of Jacqueline on this side and Eudemila on the far. But if you're Mark Carr, you have to love that from Nasello.
Camila on the header. That one intercepted by Nasello. U.S. running towards their own line under a little pressure is Hyatt. Get it back, it'll work there to create the space for themselves.
The difference between the U.S. and Brazil there was that Brazil were locked down on this side and they didn't look for the outlet ball, continue to try and force it. U.S. won it back. It was their turn to be locked down, but they were able to find the outlet ball as they went to go the other way. And now you see them just playing around the back, trying to move Brazil side to side and see if a pocket of space will open up in between the lines so that they connect and go forward. And that's exactly what you're seeing here through Duong.
Duong around the defender. Into McMahon. Yaya chasing back. This one to the back post, and it's going to be just far for Heredia Beltran. Didn't bend away. It actually went into it, and looks like Brazil sees something. They want to make a substitution here early on, as got some glove issues apparently for Brazil with Nicoli. Or maybe a hand issue. It's something. May have looked. We can see that finger is pretty well taped up. But was there another issue where maybe that came loose, as these teams will use this as a water break, it appears?
The one thing we saw on the last play right before the whistle, if we can go back to that, is it was the second time that Poto had checked in, and so all of a sudden the Brazilian players came up, and it was great recognition on this near side to realize that opened up the opportunity for the U.S. player on the far side to make the run in behind, as it is Eudemila who's going to come off. And Luana's coming on. But so, yeah, the varying runs are beginning to confuse Brazil a little bit. I know it's cliche, but center defenders say the thing they hate the most is a target player who likes to move a lot or who likes to switch up their runs, because then that means that they have to go, they have to be more aware of moving around and passing
20,
players off
Luana,
and communicate a bit more.
Leaving the game, number 13,
has done a great job of that, and if the U.S. can read her runs, it's going to open up not only the ball into her feet, but that ball in behind that the U.S. tried to play last time around.
That's Nicoli has her ring finger taped. And obviously with the glove issue, she was having some sort of instance with it. So we'll see if that becomes a factor or not in this one. We have not seen Brazil's backup goalkeeper in these Nike International Friendlies. This will be dropped back into Nicoli. She mentioned the substitute, Luana, on for Eudemila. Long ball, looking for Luana as she makes that first run. Victoria Heish, and it will be a body check there by Yoshida at the end, I believe. Was not Yoshida, and that was Heredia Beltran, who ran back, kind of threw her body in. And, well, I thought we'd see the free kick. Instead, it goes out for the throw. Referees seem to indicate, but broadcaster error. That one will go off the far side. Brazil throw. Still scoreless, 33rd minute here at the Premier Sports Campus, Lakewood Ranch, between Brazil and the United States. Under 20 women's national team here as we see the long ball across. U.S. sending 2 squads in. They'll call them red and blue. So the team in blue is the red team. Jacqueline gets us talking to now.
Nacello's been so good in these one-on-one battles, and she's almost come back as a midfielder. So they have the fluidity to go from the normal 4-3-3 into a 4-4-2 when she comes back and defends, and she kind of has free reign as to which line she wants to join.
Good job, 2v4. The U.S. got it out of that trouble. Second ball we take in here, Nacello. Victoria Heish back into Camila. Looking for Marta. McMahon tackles it away. And as Victoria Heish steps in, Duwong will go down. It'll be a U.S. free kick. Victoria Heish is all the way back, so they're going to wait on the whistle, and we'll get it now. Victoria Heish got out of there pretty fast.
Because my first thought was that just a foul, or was that tactical? Get back to that lovely turn.
We'll see. This chance here, played towards the corner. Podogil. And Brazil plays it off of the U.S.
Yeah, my first thought was, I think she knows she's beat, and she got that foot in because she knew that she was out of position. So, it's first half, and it's not like you're in the final moments, but I have seen those been given as yellows before, because for me there was a bit of a cynicality in that one.
And we have seen Brazil be very physical, not like it's a lot of bad fouls, but there has been quite a bit of fouls. So, but you're right, she knew where she was. She took the whistle and pretty much sprinted back before she could get any further verbal warning. Duwong back into Hunter. That pass taken away as it was looking for Heredia Beltran. Here's Victoria Heish. Far side. Heredia Beltran will tackle him. This should be a free kick, and it will be. Dangerous spot here, just a yard outside the penalty area. About 12 yards or so off the line, too. So, see a 2 or 3 man wall, I would think.
And here's the thing is, if you're Heredia Beltran, you need to realize that Kroger's there. If you get beat there, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
If Kroger is 10, 15 yards away, then yes, you need to make that lunge, and if you commit the foul, you commit the foul. But in that case, you should know that you have a player stepping to the ball, and your move should be in behind if you can't keep up with that run.
Unnecessary foul, you would say. Now, Brazil was very good off of set pieces, both of them being corner kicks in their game on Wednesday night. We'll see here as Angelina will be the right footer on this ball, but
Jacqueline's curling around. This time they go with her.
And it is punched away by McClellan. It's high, though, headed back, and it's going to roll just wide. The deflection goes off the United States. So Again, set piece in there was a little dangerous. U.S. didn't get it cleared out enough the first time.
Dictate to them.
Rather fortunate here as we get the replay.
It was a good ball sent in. McClellan wins the first ball. We talk about so often how getting to the second ball is so important, and Hunter got a really important touch.
Don't let him get across you. Saki, half and half. Saki, half and half.
So this one taken near post.
Get up.
Angelina drops it back. Now it's sent in by Luana, and it will be another corner kick.
Smithy, well done. Hey, sit. Tell them not to let the Brazil players get across us.
Two of Brazil's 4 goals against USA Blue on Wednesday night came off of corner kicks.
Get an arm!
One a training ground routine, one a straight ball in and a header.
This one towards the near post is headed out. Second ball, Yaya will drive it, and it will go well wide.
A player like Victoria Yaya, you expect her to finish those at least 6 out of 10 times.
At least on target for sure. Kroger. Say it will go off of Kroger, so Brazil has a throw. Last few minutes, it seems the Brazil's had a little bit better run of play than they experienced in the first half hour.
But other than those free kicks, the U.S. back line hasn't been carved open.
It's true.
They've done a really good job of keeping their shape, not allowing their back line to get breached. For the U.S., what's holding them in is just their build-out. Well, you can't really build out when a player comes flying in like that.
And Luana, there'll be whistle for the foul. She's saying she got the ball, but that was a rather aggressive tackle along the sideline. Kroger will send it forward. Duong offering her help, but they'll send it up the field, or across the field, that is, into McMahon. Nacello, some room. She wants to go out to defend her. Nacello's got help on the outside, but she doesn't need it. She's to the line, cutting into the area. Played into the near post. A flip on. Now is a chance here as that one's played back. Waiting on it is Yoshida. Can't wait there. Brazil beats her to it. Kroger back across. And the header's out by Duda, but now it's taken by McMahon. McMahon will play it back in, and it's 2 straight right at Nicoli.
What a silky run, though, by Nacello on this near side. She's been really impressive on both sides of the ball.
Great opportunity and went at the defender and created some trouble. That one turned over by Brazil in the attacking third. That left-footed by Potagil down the middle. Nicoli will get that one. Yaya into Giselli. Potagil comes away with it. Potagil can't get around Camila. Angelina up the field to Jacqueline. And McMahon. Well, Jacqueline is hurt, staying across the shin, but McMahon got ball there and tried to jump over and create the player.
You can understand why the Brazilian bench is upset off your screen, but plenty of contact for sure. But that was great defending from McMahon before Jacqueline could get around her. It's unfortunate. You hope that she's okay because she has really been one of the best players in these Nike International Friendlies.
She threw the shin guard off. She was sitting up. A little freeze spray. I think I need some freeze spray for myself, Mark. My knees are hurting. My body's aching. Watching these young players go out there doesn't help either.
Well, it's incredible, how fit they are, which obviously you need to be. The modern game of soccer requires almost every single player to be a two-way player there, have to put in the work on both sides of the ball. And you know, for Brazil, 3rd game in 5 days, I mean, that's a pretty impressive feat. Had a long training camp before coming to the U.S. as well, so this is the end of a really long stint for them before these players go back to their clubs.
Well, Jacqueline able to walk off. They'll send players forward. So if anyone is watching that knows me, freeze spray is what I want for Christmas. So that's what we know.
Amazon Prime.
So you're saying I'm going to be buying it myself?
No, I'm saying that's how they should send it.
Oh, they should get it that way. Okay. Here's Gisele. Across the box, that's cleared out by Kroger. It's going to roll. Podogil pressure, but Brazil will take it. Loose ball, though, as the U.S. will come out, is Heredia Beltran, although she cannot go around Yaya. Yaya trying to drive across. Good job of participating by McMahon, winning the header. Kroger. Target is Podogil. She's running with Lauren. Podogil trying to go around Lauren. Podogil somewhat around. No help. That's going to be free. And Nico Lee will come out and grab it.
It was a great job to beat the defender and just get the cross off. But you have to realize that if that's not on, you can't make the cross there because it's just going to go right to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And so good job, gets around the defender, gets that space, but nobody's there. That's when you need to pull that ball back, circle back around, and wait for the cavalry to arrive.
Wait on a little help, that's for sure, as we enter the 45th minute. Scoreless still. Camila.
On the near side, Jacqueline still trying to walk it off. She's staying back.
Well, Luana on it, and she'll take the volley. Jacqueline still limping a little bit. That one sent in, and it's at McClellan. Able to grab that chin high shot.
That's good work from the Rutgers goalkeeper.
Final seconds of the first half. A little high pressure from Brazil now. Second ball is Lockwood. 3 minutes of stoppage time we'll have. Here is Duong. Near side, Podogil. Looking for Lockwood. Doesn't connect. Brazil
the referee has added a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time to the end of the first half.
Sweeper. Roll there for the keeper. Yaya is fouled. 40 yards or so away from the front of the net. So 3 over the ball, well back, 40 yards out, I would say. One person wall for the United States. That's Podogil. It'll be Duda looking to send this one into the area, or she may actually shoot. She does. Not far off, but from that distance, I would think McClellan would have had it covered. Should have been on target.
Brazilians are famous, though, for scoring free kicks from those kinds of distances. Not all surprised that Duda shot that, and even though it was off target, not a bad effort considering the range that it was from.
Wasn't far. She probably had that top corner targeted and missed it by about 3 or 4 yards.
Now, the one thing I'd like to see from the U.S. in the second half is for the 2 interior defenders or midfielders that are a bit more defensive in Yoshida and Duong. I would like to see them get the ball more.
Far side is Luan. Into the area, the chest down, and now the clearance by Duong. It's going to go out towards the near corner. Nacello utilizing her quickness up the field into Podogil. Podogil playing it into space, but the ball had gone out prior to her sending it down the line.
I should feel that the reason this game is 0-0 going into halftime is because nobody's really won the midfield battle. I think Brazil have kind of had the upper hand, but that's just because I don't think the U.S.'s midfield players have gotten on the ball enough. But I think that if the USA can find the ball a bit more in midfield, those three interior midfielders can do that, see more of the ball and connect the lines, then I think the USA can overpower this Brazilian team, begin to create some chances in the second half.
Well, will Brazil get one more chance? There's Kroger heads it out. Heredia Beltran runs it down on the far side. Should be the final seconds of the first 45. The stoppage time involved here. As that chest is brought down, it is the last play. And I think Mark Carr is certainly going to be very happy with the effort these young ladies have given the first 45 minutes.
Well, he talked about him wanting the defense to be compact, and they certainly were that. And Brazil hasn't really had any chances where you say, I can't believe that they're not up 1-0. But at the same time, U.S. needs to create a bit more chances themselves. So I think the defensive side of the ball, they got down pat. If they can continue that for the next 45 minutes and add in a little bit of offensive spice, they could very well come out winners at the end of 90.
We'll get a look at the highlights here, and second half action coming back up. It is the Nike International Friendlies here at Lakewood Ranch, the Premier Sports Campus, and we are all tied, Brazil and the United States at 0.
Like ASMR.
Your head, no. Good. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Let's go, Blue. Okay, breathe in. Can you do our team check? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Not fully. Don't go all there. Right? Start the same energy. Here we go. Come on, Blue. Everything you have. Come on. Let's do it. We got a goal.
And welcome back here to the Premier Sports Campus, Lakewood Ranch. Here is United States and Brazil. Second half action beginning now, tied at 0. Good chances for both teams. I wouldn't say any great chances, but certainly neither goalkeeper had to be tested, but opportunities inside the box as we finish those first 45, second 45. One thing we'll be looking for if Isabel Cox makes her way on today. It is her birthday.
Substitution at the half for Brazil. Entering the game, number 16, Miriam. Leaving the game, number 9,
goal against China in these Nike International Friendlies last year.
Yeah, be nice to get a chance if she makes her way on today, but no changes for the U.S. through the first 45. This group has been very effective in getting done what Mark Carr would like, playing compact, going forward, aggressively defending, and really limiting Brazil. There has been a couple of opportunities, but I think anytime you face Brazil, there will always be a couple opportunities. That turnover, and this will be Duong called for the foul. She tied up. It looks like actually we did have a Brazil sub then. So that's Miriam, who is on now.
So Brazil have already made 2 subs. Marta's off, and earlier in the game, Luana had come on as well.
And it is Marta. Yep, you're right. Thank you. They'll drop up. It looks like maybe Yaya may get a little bit more forward now into that role, with Miriam asking that role. Well, we saw a shot from 40 yards the other way. This one's only about 35, so we'll see what they decide to do here. And it'll do the same thing. And it would have been up and good for a field goal right over the American Outlaws that are making their way, not just for this game, but for the 6:30 game, USA Blue Squad against France. Run by Nasello. And Miriam will be whistled for the foul.
I think Nasello has been the most dangerous player going forward for the U.S. through the first 47+ minutes.
Between both sides, yes, he had that really nice run.
I just love the way she runs at players with absolutely no fear. And we've already seen Kroger send in some really nice free kicks in this game as well.
And she'll get another chance here. Dropped it in short. Here's Nasello and Kroger. No cross ever got there. Jacqueline is handled by McMahon.
Just not sure who Jacqueline was looking for there. She looked up and looked right across the back line and saw nobody there and still sent it in. This is the level where the decision-making really has to be spot on.
Yaya, Miriam, and Lockwood steps in to slow it down for a moment. They'll find Angelina. Angelina to the near side. Here's Jacqueline. Jacqueline across and off the knee of Kroger. It'll be a corner kick.
Good defending from Kroger. Squares up and doesn't allow her to get that little touch off to get the cross, and was able to get the block as well.
Angelina will come across to take this one. Out swinger.
You know, obviously, she's had the assist on the corner kick that Jacqueline scored the other night, but in addition to the set pieces, such a good midfield general.
Driven to the spot. Header won by Brazil, as that was Camila. But she can't get over the top, and it will roll or fly over the crossbar.
You know, one thing the U.S. really did well there is Mark Carr talked to his side after the USA gave up 2 corner kick goals against Brazil for the blue team. We'll get back to that in a second.
I'll take it towards the corner here as the U.S. will scramble to defend. Heredia, Beltran. That one's back across off Jacqueline's head. Nasello alone in the corner, looking for help, will chip it up to Kroger, and that will be the throw.
Yeah, so he said, you know, I asked him, I said, well, did you talk about the corner kicks? And he said, yeah, you know, we spoke with everybody about the finite details, making sure you're tight, making sure that you have a hand on them, making sure that you have the inside shoulder position so they can't get across from you. And he said, finally, maybe even if they're bigger or they're going to win that ball, at least get a body on them to put them off. And that's exactly what happened on that last corner kick. The defender wasn't going to win it over the taller Brazilian player, but she got a body on her to force a bit more of a contested header. And that's why the Brazilian player wasn't able to put that effort on target.
Well, we saw what Brazil was able to do there. Again, this is against the blue squad, but these young ladies all competing in the same pool, so important information for all of them there as Brazil will look to go over the top. It's won by Hyatt. Yaya back in. There's Jacqueline. And it's a nice touch ball by Yaya that's cleared out by Kroger.
There's that ability, though, from Yaya to pick out a pass.
Jacqueline and Victoria Heish. Tackle. There's Nasello. A lot of room. Nasello's got a streaking Heredia Beltran, but doesn't beat that last defender. Well, speculated a little earlier that, you know, with Miriam's inclusion, that it would be Yaya going forward. It does appear that Jacqueline is squeezed up a little higher. She's got a chance now. She tries to go across the 18, cleared away by Duong.
Well, Jacqueline was so frustrated by McMahon in the first half that she stayed on this side to see if she can do any better against Kroger. So I think that's a, you know, big compliment to McMahon that Jacqueline has switched sides.
Switched it up. They're moving him a little bit around as Victoria Hayes will streak down the line.
So far, Kroger's been equal to the task as well.
Absolutely, both of them, I think, all around. Here's Heredia Beltran, who is gifted the ball in midfield. She'll reset with her defenders. Duong will drop. Now down the far side, McMahon at the defender will look to cross. She'll get it across. Potagil can't get on the end of that. Second ball out. Duda and Jacqueline. The runner's Angelina. If they go that way, they do. Hunter there first and uses McClelland on the U.S. defense. Looking for Potagil. She'll give chase. Camila will stand her up now as Potagil down to the line. She'll put it across. No one's there. Late is Nacello, but Victoria Hayes will get it through the area, and Brazil will have an unforced error there, which will result in a U.S. throw. Same situation there, Mark. We called about no one really there for Potagil, but I think that time she was running a little too close to the end line. Maybe someone would turn it over.
And perhaps trying to play it off the shins of the defender too. That was an acrobatic clearance.
Second time we've seen that here by Brazil. That one sent into the area. Victoria Hayes heads it down. Duong there. She's got help in Yoshida, but she goes higher with Heredia Beltran. And Yoshida's run, that's behind her. Now, Yaya. Nacello tracking back on Luana.
Luana, one of two U.S.-based players for this Brazil side.
Jacqueline with the step over. Angelina tries to cross in. It's Lockwood on it. That ball, though, whiffed on. Second one is Jacqueline.
Good step there by Duong not to allow the shot. Jacqueline can certainly hit volleys from there.
Yes, she can.
Luana, as we said, U.S.-based, 25 goals in 15 games for Monroe College, New Rochelle. Also played, I believe, 9 minutes in goal as well. So, but it's always really interesting when you have players based from other countries coming in.
There's a good chance now on that far side is Luana, to speak, as that deflected up. It's handled by McClellan. I hope in those 9 minutes she didn't give up a goal. That would be a heck of a goal against average if she did.
Yeah, not sure, but in terms of coming in and seeing a different style of play that she sees playing stateside every day versus what these girls are experiencing in Brazil. So I would love to, get the opportunity to talk with her and just see, how might the experience differ.
We have a Brazil player who's taking a seat. Is that Luana? I think it is.
Well, you hope not, because she came on as a sub.
Yeah.
And as a coach, you never want to have to spend a sub on a sub.
Yeah, and it is. Number 20. 57th minute. U.S. will take this as an opportunity to confirm strategy. Mark Carr talking over with the ladies. Don't know what they are looking at. If it is, looks like to maybe more of that free spray. See, Mark, I really need that.
I hear it does good things.
I'm going to try it on my knee here, I think, come Monday.
I bet if you ask the trainers after the game, they'll... I think the U.S. is doing a better job of connecting through the midfield, doing a better job of finding balls to players like McMahon getting forward. And it's not just that you want to connect in the midfield, but it's that the long ball to Podojil, well effective. We've seen that players haven't been able to catch up to her when she has gotten into space. And so by getting the ball into the midfield, more players will get involved into the attack. And this Brazilian team has been really impressive. I think, they could very well be on their way to winning their 9th straight U20 South American Championship when they begin play in March, and that'll be in Argentina. But the thing is, Brazil has always kind of been the standard in South America for women's soccer, but now you have places like Argentina where they're having their own women's professional league. The game has really picked up in Chile as well, and so each year, kind of like for the U.S. around the world, for Brazil not only around the world but in South America too, now they're going to say, well, what else do we need to do to make sure that we're still out in front, to make sure that we're still the top-rated team?
Well, and that's with anything with the women's sports here, particularly around the world. The U.S. is always one of the leaders into that, and certainly still are as the World Cup champions. But you find that the levels, everyone else coming up, and Brazil certainly into the South American countries where maybe not nearly as much was invested for so long, starting to catch up at least a little bit. And that's more so probably the rest of them getting better as opposed to any level lost by Brazil.
No, absolutely. Still the standard bearers, and Jonas Arias dos Santos had really high praise for the Brazilian Federation, saying they're working really hard to enhance the women's game. They're working with the clubs to make sure that the local clubs have girls' sides, to make sure to improve the girls' programs for the clubs, and also to build up that league that they do have. And as we said, they don't only have a 16-team professional first division, they have a second and third division as well, which creates a really great pipeline. And now for Brazil, the next step is going to be taking that kind of structure and making sure that it goes all the way from the grassroots up rather from top down.
Victoria Heish, talking to, she carried that ball away with her. Kroger looks to throw it in as we come upon the hour mark here at the Premier Sports Campus, Lakewood Ranch. It is scoreless. Neither team with the golden opportunity here in the second half at all. Certainly very competitive there with good opportunities. There's one for Brazil. Jacqueline will get into the area, being chased by Kroger. Jacqueline across the 6, and will go on the far side. Out for the goal kick.
Oh, the reason she got that step on Kroger was because I think she might have caught her with an elbow or something and caused Kroger to lose her footing, and then she had to catch up. Did a good job to get back and put her off, but same thing for Jacqueline. Right ball to the far post, but nobody was there. She could have pulled that one back.
That one played up for Nacello.
As you take a look, and Jacqueline getting inside, a little bit of a stiff arm too, and the ball to the back post. It was dangerous, just no takers for Brazil.
Yeah, going through there, she was so far ahead, no one could catch up with her on that sense. Meanwhile, the U.S. will send a ball across the goal box. It will be a goal kick. See a few drops on our press box windows, so don't know. We see rain in the area over the night in particular, maybe somewhere a little bit north into the Tampa, St. Pete area might be getting some. We'll see if it makes its way down here as we prepare for that second game, as the U.S. will be set to make their first sub of the game.
I believe it's Catherine Barry, and she came on in the match against France and really made the U.S. attack look much more threatening.
It is Catherine Barry, and we mentioned Isabel Cox today with her birthday, but Catherine's will be on Monday, so maybe a little early present for her today, if she gets a chance. That foul will go for the U.S.
I think at one point in the development academy for the Boston Breakers a few years ago, she had something like a 3 goals per game ratio. Catherine Barry, she's going to replace Lockwood, I believe.
She is replacing Lockwood. We'll see Heredia Beltran move back into the midfield, and Barry will go up top.
Substitution in the 63rd minute for the United States. Entering the game, number 15, Catherine Barry. Leaving the game, number 6, Avery Lockwood.
Some pressure. U.S. out of it here with Hunter. Near side is Yoshida. Over the top for Barry. The header won by Lauren. Running in is Potagil, playing out wide. That's a great ball across. It's just past the toe of Nasello. Nasello will chase down Luana. And Brazil able to go forward here is Jacqueline. Camila. And Giselli. Can't connect there.
Brazil just haven't found their radar today. Passes being played behind players, just not really on the mark and not really typical of Brazil. I think it might be a little bit of fatigue.
As you mentioned, many of these women starting all 3 games and third game in basically 5 days. Heredia Beltran, nice through ball for Barry. Barry is into the area, slowed up a little bit onto the right foot, and the shot struck well, but it will go off of Lauren, and it'll be a corner kick.
Well, that's what Barry can bring to this attack. Not only the ability to hold up the ball when she needs, but to take players on too. It's a really smart run from Barry as well, and a great look by Heredia Beltran to find her.
So coming across, it'll be Duong to take the corner. Caitlin Duong. And that's on the back post. Goes down. Nicolay had it over her head. She was asking for a foul. I don't think anything was given. I think it was some pulling and tugging on both teams, and that will go out for another corner kick on the far side. Nicolay still calling for a foul, but I think it may have been someone pulled into her from her own teammate. So it will be Kroger. That ball very dangerous inside the 6. We'll see if the U.S. opts to send a similar type of ball, or do they have another play on? Barry jostling for position. They will run into the 6. The 6 is packed right now. There's got to be 15 bodies inside the 6 right there. We'll see what the U.S. chooses to do here. The referee, however, will slow it down.
Yeah, the referee not happy with some of the pushing and shoving that goes on in the box, and it was funny to me. As soon as the referee leaves the area, it always starts up again.
Now this one sent in, back post, just missed Hunter on the back post.
Another good ball, though, by Kroger. Her set piece ability has been excellent tonight.
Here's the second kick. As you can see, the wind's picking up a little bit. It's at the back of the U.S. And there's Hunter being marked by Jacqueline, who slowed her up just enough. Chance now for Brazil. On the high side is Giselli. She'll drop it back to Luana. Now into Yaya. Errant pass there. And it's Heredia Beltran will feed it into Barry. Barry's in the race. She's going to get to the ball first. She's got no help. 2 jerseys in front of it with yellow behind her now. She's going to split them. She's into the box. Barry saved by Nicolay. And Brazil will send it up the field.
Well, I think her forward play, we get back to that, good interception and a crucial one from Kroger, but I think Barry's really going to change the complexion of this game, because not only have we seen how dangerous she is, but now with the Brazilian line realizing the threat that's on, they're going to back up a little bit, and that should create some more space in the midfield. As you see, wonderful footwork from her, but also all credit to Nicolay for charging off her line to cut down the angle.
Nicolay needed that save there as Barry. Some fantastic individual work up front. Far side, McMahon will run it down. It'll go off Brazil. Looking for Barry. The run for Camila. Yaya with space. Yaya into Jacqueline. Brazil back behind the ball. Jacqueline will take the shot. It will deflect off of Hunter. Corner kick. Counterattack for Brazil. Almost effective there.
A great step by Hunter, though, coming across. Not allow Jacqueline to take that shot. Still, though, what a ball that was, slid into her. And talk about this level, things being just a bit faster. If Jacqueline had been just half a step quicker, she would have had a chance to get that off. Still, all credit to Hunter.
Angelina, it'll be an out-swinging corner. She'll take it with the right foot. Brazil loaded up towards the penalty spot, looking to crash the goal box. Near post runner will go over towards the 6. Header is Brazil almost whiffed on. It's down the ground. Camila was the one on, and the U.S. will just send it up the field.
And once again, the U.S. didn't win that ball in the corner kick, but they got a body on the player.
Marcelo wins that. Lifted. Nicely done. There's Angelina off the body of Kroger. Kroger will stand it up again. This one back post open. Now the header on net. McClellan to the near post, keeps it out. And the U.S. will send it up. That header came on goal, and McClellan was had to go to her near post to keep it out. Another look.
That was a wonderful ball. Served in by Angelina and leaving a player open at the back post, but McClellan, who really hasn't had too much to do today, really good job by her to stay engaged so that she was equal to the task when her number was called upon.
I believe it was Lauren who was open on the back post from her.
That's something we noticed from this USA Red team in the first game, though, is they were doing a really good job, but on some of those crosses, they would let players drift to the back post where they were open. They were lucky against France that none of those balls found those players, and they were able to make the adjustment. But here, they're starting to let that happen again.
Kroger looking long for Barry. Over Barry, and header won by Lauren. Miriam. And as Duda hits that, Hunter will send that to the near side. Nacello tries to run it. Victoria Heish will go on the attack from there. Ball played, and Kroger is there first, although Victoria Heish will have it. They'll say it went off of Kroger, so the throw will go Brazil's way.
I think Victoria Heish just got the wind knocked out of her there as she went into that challenge with Kroger. Did really well to stand her ground. Could see a little wave of the finger, though, when she was down, saying, I don't need the training staff.
Yeah. Don't want to come off the field here. She'll actually take the throw.
Let's take a look again. And yeah, Kroger did absolutely nothing wrong there. Victoria Heish just flew into her.
Substitution for Brazil, as it will be Giselli who will come off. Making her way on will be Julia. Miriam goes up the middle. And open wide is Jacqueline.
Substitution in the 72nd minute for Brazil. Entering
Jacqueline.
the game, number 18, Julia.
Into it is Nacello.
Leaving the
down.
game, number 14,
It looks
Gisele.
like she caught an elbow from Jacqueline. I think the referee doing the right thing to stop play, even though the U.S. was on a break, because don't know whether that elbow caught her in the head area or not, and you have to stop play when it's a possibility of a head injury right away.
She's holding her jaw a little bit, but we'll utilize this break there. There's a ref. Goes in Nicello. So there is Heredia Beltran, who back across. The staff going over some notes there as the drop ball. U.S. did have possession, so we'll see where they go with this.
Take a look here, and well, it's hard to see from this side exactly where it happened.
Meanwhile, back to action. It's down looking for Barry, and it will be a U.S. throw.
Lauren, the number 3 for Brazil, has had a good tournament.
In a chain. Katie, stay out. Katie, just countermeasures here.
Drop back in for Kroger. Here's Nicello. Tries to split the defenders. Victoria Heish back then, knew she had help, left it there blindly for her player. And that worked out pretty well for them as they move it up, although they can't keep it in front of the United States bench. So the throw goes for the USA.
Countermeasures. There it is. Get a corner, Dill.
Heredia Beltran will not quite get the corner. It'll be a throw in for the U.S. And another substitute, this time for the U.S. Coming off is Yoshida. And Zoe Hazenauer comes on the field. Hazenauer got the start last time.
Substitution in the 75th minute for the United States.
Ball across.
Entering the game, number 11, Zoe Hazenauer. Leaving the game, number 10, Sakura Yoshida.
A little far for Heredia Beltran. And that should result in a corner kick. It does. And we'll see. The U.S. last time opted to throw everybody in the 6-yard box.
With some success as well. You're the U.S. here. You want to get as many bodies into that 6-yard box that you can, or vary it up a little bit. But the one thing you've got to make sure is that you don't get caught on a counter. However, Brazil does have everybody defending inside their 18.
That they do, as Kroger
Sid, hold a little bit deeper.
will take this corner. This one about 6 yards out, and it will go off the back of Duda. Corner kick from the other side. No blue jerseys in the area, but will still be a corner kick for the U.S.
Another good ball from Kroger, though. This Duong's going to come over and take it on this near side, but Kroger's services have been really impressive today. Think about the U.S. there was if they had somebody at the back post, they could have tucked it in, even though it might have been tough with that deflection on Duda. I think you might see something even different here because Duong just put up some fists and gave a little different signal than we've seen.
And that one is there. Nicolai there, the header over the bar. Barry from 5 yards out. Nicolai got a hand on it, but it was a deflection. And Catherine Barry's header just went over the crossbar.
That's excellent from the U.S., being very aggressive in terms of the way that they attacked that ball. win that aerial battle and cause that chaos in the box. And you know, the U.S. has been really good when they've gotten numbers forward.
So Brazil looking to settle a little bit. Will go forward. Jacqueline's got some space here. Goes at Kroger. Cuts inside. Miriam, as Smith Hunter will get that one cleared away. And Catherine Berry 1-on-3, but she gets clipped from behind. And we may see a card here to Lauren, because you did have bodies behind the ball, but this one seemed to be what you said, and we do. It's a yellow card issued to Lauren.
Yeah, it's a tactical foul, and it's not necessary because you still have 3 other defenders. 2
behind the ball for sure.
Well, at the same time, though, Barry on another electrifying run, but if she had picked her head up, Hasenauer was all alone screaming for the ball. Barry might have found her had she not been fouled, though, so.
Yellow
79th
card
minute,
issued
still
in the
scoreless.
79th minute to number 3, Lauren of Brazil.
It's Nacello on the near side. Victoria Heish heads it high, skyward, and Jacqueline throws another elbow.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd or 3rd time that she's done that. Well, this is the first time she's been caught. You see the referee just said 1, 2, 3, and the yellow card, a cynical smile on Jacqueline's face, but the referee really had no other choice.
Saw Nacello's head snap back.
Whoever wants it. Dill, if you want it, get it on target.
So the free kick for the U.S., I would imagine. We see the substitutes coming on.
Put it on the back post. Put it on the back
The referee
post.
didn't seem too inclined to call a foul initially, but eventually did. Is that one? Well, that one was actually probably not as high, but it was a shove off with the forearm.
If you're Nacello, you're saying that's the 2nd time that that's happened as well.
And it will be the free kick for the U.S.
Zoe, you're holding on top.
See what space they give you. See what space they give you.
It's like goalkeeper change too for Brazil. That's a little
Yellow
surprise
card
here
issued
for
in
the
the
last 10
80th
minutes.
minute
Nicole Lee
to
has
number 11,
been involved.
Jacqueline of
She has
Brazil.
struggled a little bit on these high balls in the 6, and it does seem that the new goalkeeper they're going to bring in, and Mayara has a little extra height.
Well, I think that part of it, too, is just that Mayara hasn't had a chance to play in these friendlies, and Coach Jonas Arias dos Santos wants to get her in, but there's a look again on the face of Jacqueline is priceless as she gets that yellow card.
Why not give her the whole 45 minutes, you know, of the second half? I don't get that one, but that's all right. We'll see. Right now, the U.S. with an excellent chance, and it will be Duong over the ball. 3-man wall for Brazil. It's about 20 yards out, off to the side of the net.
That goalkeeper's cheating over pretty far. If I were Duong, I'd want to try and catch her.
There's Duong near post, and Nicoli goes across. Nicoli able to deflect that over. So the corner kick, will we see subs here on the corner? We do.
Well, I think there's your answer to why Nicoli is still in there and not...
Well, no, I understand that. I just like, if you're going to make that sub as Jacqueline comes off.
Just look at this. Perfectly struck free kick. A flying save from Nicoli. I thought her starting position, she was cheating too far over to the other corner, but she certainly proved me wrong. That's a great save. But Duong, you know, we talk about Kroger services. Duong's has been spot on as well, and another chance for her from the corner is the triple change still being completed by Brazil, and the goalie change as well.
Tycian will come on, as will Bruna.
I understand the why not give her the full 45 minutes, but if you haven't, if you're Jonas Arias dos Santos, you have to think, you know, she put in the work during the camp. She came all this way. Let's make sure we get her on the field. I think just trying to empty his bench and just make sure that everybody gets playing time for Brazil.
Well, and you see the height here that she does have over Nicoli. We'll see what she's able to do on this corner kick. The U.S. has put it into the 6-yard box. That one's onto the near post run. Hunter cannot get it in. Headed back by the U.S. 83rd minute, still scoreless. Duong, and it will go off Brazil.
Substitutions in the 82nd minute for Brazil. Entering the game, number 7, Bruna. Leaving the game, number 2, Vitória. Entering the game, number 6, Eduarda. Leaving the game, number 11, Jacqueline. Entering the game, number 17, Thaisiani. Leaving the game, number 10, Duda. Entering the game,
Another
number 12,
great run
Mayara.
from Nacello,
Leaving
bringing
the game,
over
number
3
1,
players
Nicole.
and still able to win the corner kick. Well, she's been one of the best of any of the players out there today from either side.
And Nacello does get the corner kick, as you heard the subs that were announced for Brazil.
Hey guys, go down if you need.
Danny's zone 2.
Duong is on it. She's got Kroger with her. See if the U.S. decides to go in and test out the new goalkeeper. This one is about 5 yards out. It will go a little long and curl over, and will go out for a goal kick.
Danny, well done, kid.
The look here as they play it short. Bruna.
Another look at the save. Fantastic. Flying across and pushing it to safety, but still, Duong almost catching her at the near post. Would have been an eye-catching free kick goal. Certainly one for the highlight reel.
Here's Camila. U.S. will turn it over in the midfield, but they'll fight for it back. Miriam. That's Eduarda who came on. She's down the corner at Kroger. Kroger, good job and able to push it forward, just missing Hazenauer. Here's Duda. Angelina driven across, headed skyward. U.S. able to get it out of their area. Barry will win it. Reset for Brazil at the midfield. And Thaisian undercuts the U.S. player.
One thing you have to give the U.S. credit for is we've barely said Vitória Yaya's name in this game. The midfield has done an excellent job of taking her out of the play.
It's going to run a long way. Barry tried to keep it in. Barry will get whistled for the, they'll say, off the corner kick. Barry, great work for Catherine Barry in order to stick that foot around, play it off the Brazilian player.
Yeah, what a job she's done since coming in. It's completely put Brazil on the back foot. Has allowed more U.S. players to get forward because the Brazilian backline has been so occupied with her. And then they're giving up on a ball it looked like she had no right going after, and winning the corner kick for the U.S. A chance for Mark Carr's side to possibly grab a late winner.
Once again, Catherine Barry standing just in front of the goalkeeper, getting pushed out of the play. Here's Kroger. Left foot. That one's going to be about 10 yards out. Now it's off the Brazil. Now the shot, save! What a save by Mayara. Barry was right there. The left foot came in, and Mayara down to her right, point blank, got it. Big save.
Well, that's an amazing save. If you're only given 10 minutes to play, that's the way to play this 10 minutes.
Get another look here at the replay. Brazil didn't handle the first ball well, and Barry got a foot on it.
Yeah, Barry turning, good reaction save. Don't know how much she knew about it, but still in the right position. Still doing the right things by getting those arms out, making sure that she got something on it.
Another look at the corner.
The one thing I'm not sure why Luana ducks there. That's what it opens up for Barry. Mayara, wow. I mean, we're not keeping them in the tournament, but that's the way you preserve a point.
That is for sure. Headed out. So as we play the 88th minute, the U.S. has had 2 great chances in the last 5. The free kick by Duong, and that one from Barry. The Brazilian goalkeepers have been huge. Towards the corner. That's a good run on the far side. I believe that's Eduarda. No, Eduarda's running across the box. That was Taisien, and it will go off of Taisien on the second ball out. Mark Carr shouting some instructions. Taisien feeds to the corner. McMahon, once again, had a very good game defensively, pushes that out. Another ball on the field. We'll see what they will continue playing. This one off Duong. Second ball. That shot. And the deflection will go over the goal, and it will be a corner kick. That shot by Miriam, almost with the deflection, dipped down under the bar. And that's Brazil's best chance of the game, I think.
Yeah, still it's time for either side to poach a winner, but a goal like that would have been so harsh on the U.S. for the way they've defended so stoutly today. Great job by Duong to match her and get that foot in. I mean, yeah, it was nerve-wracking at the end, but it could have been so much worse if Duong doesn't make that partial block.
Yeah, you don't know what that ball, whether it's dipping down, what it's going to do. Still surprised to see another ball on the opposite corner flag. It's still on the field of play, but nothing done for it here. Is this corner to be swung in by Julia. Running away from the nets, Brazil. They'll get to it first. And here's Barry. Barry can let it into space. No, she'll go the opposite way. Running is Hazenauer, but Miriam is there. And as the clock strikes 90, we'll get to stoppage time. Probably 4 minutes, I would think, here. It is 4.
How do you do that?
It's an internal clock, Mark, an internal clock here. Is this one played towards the corner?
Does that have anything to do with freeze spray, or?
Sometimes I feel like my mind is freeze sprayed.
The referee has added a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage
the couple of the
time
elbows
to
we
the
saw, and so no goals. The extended substitution there, so you go into play. A lot of times it's typical with 3, but then you say, you know what? It was a couple extra stops. We'll see 4 probably. Back across Kroger. A little miscontrol by Kroger allows Brazil a break. Pulling it back as Nacello steps in front. Good job by McMahon on the far side. Working as Podagil is tracked back and did a good job. As her job more midfield based since Barry's come on. There's Duong back out to Podagil. Into Hazenauer. Zoe Hazenauer as it cleared away. Duong using Kroger. Kroger feeding it back in. Hazenauer pushes it wide, and they'll keep it going wide, but cannot get there. But Podagil almost has it. Now it's cleared out as Brazil and Julia almost had it taken off of her.
You have to say that in the last 15 minutes of this game, the U.S. have looked the more likely side to get the game-winning goal.
Barry's
It's a good look at the USA blue players who are getting ready to face off against France.
There's Rodman there, I believe. So Brazil brings it out their end. Final 2 minutes. Looking to go over the top to touch. Hunter finds Nacello. Nacello is clipped by Yaya. And Yaya may get a caution. Well, or just get the, well, I know it's not Portuguese, but the no mas. I always like to say no mas instead of no more. Who knows why? Because I'm old and the old Roberto Duran days.
Well, we talked about the fact that there are 4 players from this U20 side who are at Andonovski's senior team identification camp. You have about 12 players who would have been called up, except for they competed in the College Cup. And so this really an ID camp for so many of these players. And I think Nasello and Barry made really good cases for themselves tonight.
Well, here's Barry, can make even a better case as she fires from 25, and it will go wide. A lot on it, but just missed the target.
She's created some really good chances in her 25 minutes, Catherine Barry.
Camila and Lauren in the back. Lauren will just feed it up. Header one by Hyatt. Can there be one more chance?
Hyatt and Hunter also deserve a lot of praise, as that's going to do it. But there wasn't one time tonight where a Brazilian player got in behind them.
Defensively, very good, much better than we saw the other night, although it wasn't bad the other night. Certainly a very good performance all around for the United States against the Brazil team that knocked off the USA Blue team just 2 nights ago. So your thoughts overall?
I thought the U.S. defended really well tonight, and as the game wore on, their attacking got so much better. Nasello and Barry, for me, were really excellent. McMahon, I think, also did a wonderful job considering this is her first camp. So for the U.S., you know, all these players can be really proud of themselves, and I think they will all continue to be on Mark Carr's radar going forward. As well they should. Well, we have the second game coming up. It'll be USA Blue and France. That'll be at 6:30. Our final from the Nike International Friendlies on Game 1, the United States and Brazil, all tied at 0. We'll talk to you in about an hour.